What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Football Game Show brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy here on Better Sports Network. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-host, John Luke. What's up, JL?
What up?
Guys, joining us today here to play a game we're bringing over from the morning show for the first time is our great friend, Dave Kluge. For those of you that do not know Dave, you need to go and follow him on Twitter right now.
Do it.
It's easy. It's his name, at Dave Kluge. You can find the link below this video if you're watching on YouTube. He is a writer and podcast host of the Launchpad over at Footballguys. And Dave, we are so excited to have you on with us today.
Yeah, I always love coming on these shows. I mean, this is like, I will never say no to an FYF invite. Always have a blast here.
Jay, you hear that? Schedule him every day from now on. Joey, you're out. Dave, you're in.
The other day, I got a message from somebody else on Twitter, Sam Wagman, and it was a screenshot of our tweet and said, "Hey, I'd love to come on with you, but I was the guest last Tuesday," and said, "But in the future, if you tag me, I'm just going to start showing up on your show." So we're starting to get a running list of people that I think we can just tag them in the tweets and then be like, "Where the hell are you?
You're late."
I mean, yeah. Does anybody ever come on the show and like not have a good time? Like, oh, I feel like I just wasted an hour of my life. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think Jake Seeley
And also, I want to say, I think this is the second new show that I've done with you guys. The first time you did Family Feud, if you recall, that was like over 2 years ago.
Oh, that was a nightmare.
Yeah, that was the first time you ever did Family Feud. So let's hope today's a little bit smoother.
I was about to say, and it showed on that one. We have played this game before in a shorter format on the morning show, so we won't be working out any of those kinks, but we will see how it goes. Dave, the reason you get all the new games is because we think, who can we F with? Who would allow us to just completely mess with them?
That's exactly how the meeting
Your name
started.
comes to mind every time.
Yep.
First rule of the show: take your shirt off and do some jumping jacks.
Exactly. We got some people in the chat. Victor here said, "Hola, brochachos." He said, "Happy National Best Friends Day. What a way to celebrate with the brochachos."
Let's go.
Welcome in, Victor.
Seems like every day, though.
And happy BF Day to you. We've got Craig in here said, "Ooh, a new game." Welcome in, Craig. Dame excited for today with the hello. And Dustin said, "Let's go. Hashtag Team Joey for the win." And they said, "What the heck?"
Ha!
There's Joey.
Gone.
Suckered. Now
Dave's
you'll never win
the
today.
new Joey.
We got Albert in here saying, "Hello, everyone. What's up?" And Craig
What up,
is starting
Albert?
the Kluge crew chant in the chat, but Dustin switched his allegiance to JL. You guys each got a cheering section already.
I actually want to shout out Paper that I see in the chat as well with the 2023 MVP jersey behind me. Could not agree more.
Let's go. I like to hear that.
What up, Paper? Welcome in, my friend. We got our favorite chat cat in here, Mr. Scampers, with a happy Thursday, FYF. Excited to see Dave in here.
Happy
And
Thursday,
Mr. Scampers confirming what JL said. Jake Seeley hated yesterday.
Hated it.
Yeah, he hated every second of being
lost.
on this show yesterday.
Except for when he won.
And he said Jake Seeley told Mr. Scampers yesterday that he had a good answer and was a 13-year-old asset. So that's how yesterday's show
Those
went.
two things did happen.
We had a question in here from Grim Fan that I wanted to hit on a little bit later, but we'll hit on the first part of this question. Grim wants to know thoughts on the Rams adding DeMarcus Robinson. We are going to touch on Dalvin Cook ever so shortly into today's show. But Dave, I'll throw this to you first. Does DeMarcus Robinson change the Rams fantasy landscape at all for you?
I mean, somebody's going to have to step up as a wide receiver too, right there. As much as I would love Cooper Kupp to get 400 targets a year, it's not going to happen. So somebody's going to have to step up. I don't know. We haven't really seen too much from DeMarcus Robinson. I mean, he can fit in as like a decent wide receiver too on a low volume pass offense, but I think that they want to be a little bit more up tempo, as we've seen when Matthew Stafford's healthy. Puka Nacua, who I'm sure you guys have heard about, you know, the rookie that they drafted, he seems like he is just tailor made to be the wide receiver too there when it comes to the yards after the catch abilities, the abilities to block and be used in the run game. That's how we've seen Cooper Kupp make a name for himself and Robert Woods a few years before that. So I really like Puka Nacua, and I kind of see DeMarcus Robinson as probably the third option there.
I tend to agree with you. I do think there will be fantasy value in whoever that wide receiver 2 is in the Rams offense. That seems to be consistent for that team. I just am not sure who it's going to be. I'm drafting Puka Nacua, but maybe DeMarcus Robinson's worth a dart throw late in drafts if he's going multiple rounds later in one of your real deep leagues. Craig in here yelling for some Van Jefferson.
Ooh.
Yeah, there are plenty of names ahead of Robinson that I'm looking at.
Van Jefferson is like the post type sleeper. Like we were excited about this guy years ago and he hasn't really lived up to it, but the opportunity is there right now and he's got speed. So if Matthew Stafford's elbow heals up and he'd start hitting that deep ball again, we could see something from Van Jefferson.
Do you actually become so post-hype you become a pre-hype sleeper again?
Yeah, now he's just a sleeper. Now he's just a normal old sleeper again. We all fell asleep on him.
A pre-hype sleeper is just a sleeper. You can completely ignore those words before it.
I like the chat just throwing out every single name that's in that wide receiver room because nobody knows.
Name another one. Name Rams wide receivers. Well, guys, today
Tutu Atwell.
No, not Tutu Atwell. We brought Dave here not just to name Rams wide receivers, though there is a similar element to that in some of our questions for today. We brought him here to play a game we call Feelin Lucky Punk. Before we get into that, though, a couple reminders. First and foremost, if you're not already following our guest, Dave, you need to go and fix that right now. He's on Twitter at Dave Kluge. The link is right below us in this YouTube video, either on the BSN YouTube channel or on the Front Yard Fantasy YouTube channel. If you're watching us over there on FYF, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell. It's the easiest way to make sure you know when we're live every day at the same old time. Sometimes 3 o'clock just happens. You're in the middle of a shower, you got lost in a spreadsheet, and you need that little notification to drag you back into the important things, like making Dave do silly things at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. We got scampers down here saying post hype, hate hype sleeper. Van Jefferson.
I hate when that happens.
All right, guys. So the game we are playing today is called Feelin Lucky Punk. This is a game of intellectual chicken between our contestants. Each round, contestants are going to be shown a challenge prompt, something like, how many of the top 12 quarterbacks from last season can you name? Now, contestants are going to take turns bidding on how many of the challenge they think they can do. These challenges may be something that's recall based, like the one I just mentioned, or it may be a physical challenge or a social challenge, but it's always going to be a number that you will be bidding. Now, you and your opponents will bid back and forth until one of you says, I'm out. I'm not going any higher. The person who won the bid now has to prove it. You have to do what you said you could do. If you said you could name 10 of the top 12 quarterbacks without missing any, you have to name 10 of them. If you can do that, do what you said you were going to do, you're going to get all those points. The number that you bid is going to get added to your point total. But if you do not successfully do it, if you fail, all of those points will go to your opponent. So make sure when you're bidding that you're fairly confident that you can get it done, or you're going to be gifting free points to your opponent. This game has had a tendency to get out of hand score-wise as people feel like they need to go big to come back. So keep that in mind if you feel like you have to swing for the fences, or freaking do it because it's more fun that way anyways.
Swing for the fences or nothing.
Or nothing. We're going to go like this. We've got a bunch of prompts prepared until we run out of time here. Whoever's got the most points at the end.
How many Rams receivers can you name?
All right. You guys ready to get into that first prompt?
Let's do it.
Jail, you are going to have the first bid on this one. Okay.
Beautiful.
You're going to have the first bid on this one. What I want to know is how many of the 8 running back or wide receivers drafted out of Florida State since 2010 can you name? So there are 8 running backs and wide receivers that have been drafted out of Florida State since 2010. How many do you think you can name?
1.
Jail's bid is 1. Dave, would you like to bid higher than 1, or are you bowing out?
Prove it, JL.
You're bowing out? Are you bowing out,
Dave? Is that your official?
I am, yes.
Dave's bowing out. Jail, 1. Can you name 1 of the running backs or wide receivers that was drafted out of Florida State?
Wow. I had this whole conversation in my head of like, I can name 1. I know I can name 1. I don't know if I can name any more. Why should I go higher? I'll just start at 1. Cam Akers.
Cam Akers, drafted in 2020 in the second round, is correct, Jail. That is 1 of the 8, and you are going to earn 1 point for correctly getting that correct, giving you an early lead of 1-0, but now there are no more points available of the potential 8 for that prompt. You guys, for fun. Oh, wait, I did forget one of the mechanics here. I entirely forgot one of the rules, which may have affected Dave's answer on this one. So I will throw this rule out there. Dave, if it would have affected your answer, we can change it. But We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. After you have accomplished the feat that you said, you can choose to keep going for double points. But if you miss, your opponent will get all of those points still. So, JL, you've gotten your one. You may choose to go for double points if you would like to do so by naming another one. Each additional name you name will be worth 2 points.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Oh, they're so bad. They're so bad. I don't think any of them could make it. I can't name a single one. I'm going to stop it there.
Okay, you're stopping it there. Well, the chat has got one. Dalvin Cook was drafted out of Florida State in 2017 in the second round. I'll run through all of the names down here. Dustin got another one of them with Kelvin Benjamin coming out of Florida State in 2014 in the fourth round.
He was a receiver at one point.
He was a receiver at one point.
I don't like the way you said that.
Joey was incorrect with Gerard Herpes, Brian Chlamydia, Steve the Clap, and Ben Hand Foot and Mouth. We mentioned Tallahassee on accident, and Joey's just going off in the chat now.
Naming everyone he knows there.
Dave, you think you can name any of the other ones?
No, college is not my forte, unfortunately.
Got Chris Thompson in 2013 in the fifth round. Devonta Freeman coming out of Florida State, 2014 in the fourth round. Carlos Williams, 2015 in the fifth round. Rashad Green, 2015 in the fifth round. And then Auden Tate was the last one that we hadn't said yet. 2018 in the seventh round. There were definitely some
you got
tough
me
ones
on here,
there.
not Ian Hartitz.
Well, I did want to talk to you guys a little bit about Dalvin Cook. He is expected to be released by the Vikings today. There's rumors abound about where he's going to end up. Dave, where do you think Dalvin Cook's going to end up? And as a fantasy player, where do you want Dalvin Cook to end up?
Well, all indications are that he's going to Miami. They were in the trade market for him. Mike McDaniel has said time and time again how much he wants him to be there. Well, not flat out said it, but he's kind of alluded to wanting Dalvin Cook there. But I don't know. I feel like I've been one of the few guys that's like on this hill on Twitter right now saying Dalvin Cook is not the player that he was in 2018, 2019, 2020. All of his efficiency metrics are trending down quickly. All the numbers that I like: rushing yards over expectation, broken tackle rate, juke rate, breakaway run rate, yards after contact per attempt, you name it. He is trending down in every single category. Last year, he saw one of the league's biggest workloads. He was on a high-powered offense. He was getting carries. He was getting goal line work. He was getting targets. He was 51st in fantasy points per opportunity. And I feel like people are just enamored by the name. He's been a first-round draft pick for so long, perennial Pro Bowler. He's just always been this guy. But the team that drafted him 6 years ago has essentially thrown in the towel on him. I think that he is not the player that he used to be anymore. So I think that he probably ends up in Miami, and people are going to see a gaping need at running back in Miami, and they're going to get super excited about Dalvin Cook. But I think that we need to start questioning Mike McDaniel's eye for running back talent. I mean, this is the guy that wanted Trey Sermon in round 3. This is the guy that paid a bunch of money to Chase Edmonds last year. Now he's going crazy over an aging Dalvin Cook. I just don't think that he's going to do that well, regardless of where he lands. But especially if it's in Miami, he's going to shoot up to the first or second round in fantasy drafts, and he's not going to pay off at that.
I saw your tweet. I don't know if it was today or yesterday that you put it out saying that the savvy dynasty players are out there sending trade offers for A-Chain right now with the worries about Dalvin Cook ending up in Miami. So you think there's a chance where Dalvin Cook ends up there and A-Chain's still the primary guy, or has that in his range of outcomes?
Well, he's going to get work, Dalvin Cook, because, assuming that he does go there, they're going to have to pay him money. And I mean, the same thing last year. They tried so hard to make Chase Edmonds the guy for weeks and weeks and just kept giving him the ball when he was just getting slammed at the line of scrimmage every single week. And I think A-Chain is just tailor-made for that wide zone scheme. I mean, that's what he does, is just he's got wheels to just get outside and fly upfield. And not that Dalvin Cook doesn't have that anymore, but it's few and far in between. And so many people look at like the 2 highlights from last year. He had 2 70+ yard touchdowns last year. Everyone, touts him as, hitting one of the highest speeds in the NFL. He hit that speed 50 yards past the line of scrimmage with a safety on his heels. So I think that needs a little bit of, context added to it. It's not like he's breaking tackles. He's not pushing through the line of scrimmage anymore. He had 2 plays where he was untouched and able to get downfield and hit a high speed. But if you let any NFL player run untouched for 50 yards, they're going to be able to eclipse 20 miles an hour. So I don't think that we can get too caught up in the high speeds there. You got to look at the overall sample that we saw from last year, and that was that Dalvin Cook wasn't that good.
Yeah, this is the type of player I don't like investing in fantasy, because it feels like whenever a high value, high ticket player from the years previous is switching teams on the latter half of their career. There always feels like this upswell of value. Oh man, it's going to Miami. This is going to be great. It never feels like it really pays off. I don't have the numbers I haven't dug into the numbers on that yet, but that is not the type of move. Like it's going to be difficult to find value on Dalvin Cook is a better way to say that.
I feel like not quite the same, but whenever Lamar Miller went from Miami to Houston, I remember getting excited about like the revamp in his career. Like this is stage 2 of Lamar Miller's career. This is where it's going to step up, and it never happened, man. Like that was where I learned that lesson. It's not quite the same magnitude of a player like Dalvin Cook, but generally that move doesn't indicate at this stage in a player's career a bump up in fantasy value. The chat's got all sorts of ideas.
The NFL feels about him too. They wanted to trade him and they couldn't get anything. Like Miami wasn't willing to give up a 6th-round pick. Like, you know, so there was no interest on the trade market. Now that he might hit free agency, you know, he might get a $4 or $5 million deal. But I think it just goes to show how the rest of the NFL feels about him as well.
Yeah. The chat's got all sorts of ideas on where he's going. Grim Fan says to the Bears. Paper thinks he's heading to Dallas. Victor,
that's
saying
a
thank
good
you
one.
because he got Auden Tate. So nice job getting Auden Tate on that last one, Victor. And Grim Fan also saying to the Browns. That would be wild. Craig wants to make sure I give you your points. And JL, I will make sure that I give you your points. Right there.
Good call.
Should be up on
the board.
Craig. And by points,
FYF historian.
It is a single point that you're going to be getting.
Parentheses
an early lead of 1-0. But Dave, you've got the first bid on this next challenge. Are you ready for challenge number 2 in our game of Feelin Lucky Punk?
I am.
Okay, here's what I want to know. How many hats will you wear for the remainder of the show?
Me personally?
Yeah. What's your bid? Whoever bids more gets the chance to do it.
The chance.
4.
You'll wear 4 hats for the remainder of the show. JL, would you like to bid higher than 4 hats?
10.
JL says 10. That's Dave. Will you outbid JL on 10 hats for the remainder of the show?
12.
12 hats from Dave. John Luke, will you wear more than 12 hats?
I don't know if I have more than 12 hats. I got to give it to Dave. I don't want to give him the points if I don't have the hats.
Okay, we are stuck at a dozen hats. Dave, I now need you.
A baker's dozen.
I need you to put on 12 hats. Well, he's got the hats ready.
Why do I feel like he's just going to pull out a stack of hats?
There's one.
I mean, I've got through the remainder of the show, right?
No, you have to wear them for the remainder of the show.
You have to wear all the hats at once for the remainder of the show.
All at once.
3
hats.
I hope you have 12.
I messaged my wife, and she is bringing my entire hat drawer up here right now.
4 hats.
Yes.
Also, Jay does have a good point. Says, can he keep adding hats for double points? Yes, over 12. If you want to add more, over 12, you can add more for double points.
Oh, no.
And Grim has a great question. Does the Bears helmet count? Yes, I will say, if Dave chooses to put it on.
Do you put it on top of all the other ones or on the bottom of all the other ones?
You see, I didn't take them all on the same time, but I can do it.
Also, Dame said, get a string and wear it like a necklace with the hats attached. Yeah, I didn't specify how, so if you want to tie some hats to the end of that string and wear them like a beard, you're more than welcome to do that as well.
So let's see, we got 4 on right now, and my wife will be in here in just a minute with the rest of them.
Oh my God.
Also, Jay wants to know, if they take the hats off, do they lose the points? If you take them off, if they fall, as long as you in earnest try to wear all 12 hats for the remainder of the show, then of course you will get the points.
Here come the hats.
So Dave, what are we at now?
We got football guys.
4.
So this is 5.
6. 7.
8.
This
looks fantastic.
9. Hold on.
3 more hats.
I love the one he started with. Like, it's like the perfect foundation hat.
It is.
Guys, I might be screwed here. Here's 10.
We need 2 more.
I can go up to 11 with the helmet.
Oh no!
I got another hat.
You can't get that close. Does
God.
Emily have a hat? Does Emily have a hat?
If you can't get to 12, Dave, I've got good news and bad news. The good news is You will not have to wear that for the remainder of the show. But the bad news is JL will get all 12 points.
Yes.
I think I might have overdone it, guys.
Also,
I might have shot too high.
no, we got Jake Trowbridge in here saying, just got here. Is Dave trying to look tall enough to buy a ticket to an R-rated
Oh my
movie?
God, I
What's
found a
going
beanie.
on?
I found a beanie.
Lucky number
Oh,
12.
and a beanie is beautiful. You can probably put that under the helmet and hold all the other hats in place.
Here's number 12.
And then put the helmet on top.
Or that.
All right. I think we got it. I think we got all 12.
Okay, Dave, I am going to give you your points, and I will allow you to take the helmet off as long as you keep it nearby. You can wear the other 10. Just put the beanie back on top of there, and we'll call it good.
right.
You're going to earn 12 points for that right there. Nice job.
Or just do the rest of the show staring down at your crotch. Choice is yours.
All right.
That
That was a sweat. That was a sweat.
The
He did
chat was not sure you were going to get there. Mr. Scamper said, "Oh no!" But you found the hat, Dave. Of all the hats you have on, which one's your favorite?
The base hat right here. This
Base hat. It's a perfect base hat.
it's a good one. Yeah, this was actually on my Christmas list this year. My wife asked what I wanted, and I'm like, I don't need anything. I kind of have everything I want. And I came across this hat, and I was like, that's it. That's all I want for Christmas.
He's like, I'm looking at you.
This Bears hat specifically. The Christmas list is one item. It's a link. It has the price and a gift card attached for the exact amount. All you have to do is click buy, and we'll be good. Well, Dave, by putting on all of those hats, you have gone out to a big lead of 12-1, but there's plenty of game left. John Luke, you have the first bid on this next prompt. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. What I want to know is how many of the 11 starting quarterbacks that DeAndre Hopkins played with in Houston can you name?
Dave is actually going first on this one.
Am I?
No, because you went first on the very first one and said one, and then Dave didn't bid, and then on the last one he went first, and now you're bidding first.
I swapped the first two. That makes telling the order real tough.
Yeah, when you mix them up.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go.
What's your bid, John?
I'm gonna go with 2.
JL can name 2. Dave, can you name more than 2?
I think I could do 5.
Dave's going 5. JL, do you think you can name more than 5? Or are you going to let Dave try to name 5 of these?
No, I'm going to go 6.
JL's going to go 6. Dave, you're going to go 7 here.
So what happens if I say 7 and I can't hit it?
Then JL gets the points.
I can do 7. I can do 7.
Okay, Dave's doing 7.
God, I can't do 7. I can't do 8.
JL's like, and I can't do 6.
Right.
Realistically, I only had 2 names written down.
Oh, so you bluffed me all the way up.
All right,
so now I got to go
think
7.
I could have gotten there.
Right.
I had little clues, but
A reminder to our contestants to have either the screen full screened or have the chat closed. And a reminder to our chat to throw your answers in there, because if you know them, we'll shout you out after these guys go. So Dave, get the chat closed and then start naming Houston quarterbacks that DeAndre Hopkins played with.
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson is correct.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is correct.
Brock Osweiler.
Brock Osweiler is correct.
the GOAT.
Brandon Weeden.
Brandon Weeden is correct. I can't believe that's one of the first 4 you got.
How many are we at now?
4.
No, yep.
Sean Watson, Brock Osweiler, Brandon Weeden, and Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Brian Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer is correct. That is 5.
Tom Savage.
Tom Savage is correct. That is 6. We just need 1 more. And you have earned all of those points, Dave.
Those hats, they know all the names.
I'm on the fence with one guy. I'm not sure if this was pre Deshaun Watson or not. Or I'm sorry, pre DeAndre Hopkins or not. Oh, Brian Hoyer.
You already said Brian Hoyer.
Again.
Crap.
Brian Hoyer is correct again.
All right. I'm going to throw it out there, but I think this was too early. Matt Schaub.
Matt Schaub was the first quarterback that DeAndre Hopkins played. That is correct, Dave. That is 7 points. Would you like to go for any bonus points or call it at 7?
That's all I got.
Okay, Dave is taking his 7 points.
Oh, I got one more.
Okay.
Ryan Mallett.
Ryan Mallett is correct, earning you 2 more
off.
points, bringing you up to 9, Dave. So that is going to be 9 additional points, bringing your score to 21. It's going to be 21-1 after that with that impressive naming of those quarterbacks. The chat got some of the remaining ones. There were 3 remaining. JL, did you know any of the remaining guys?
Nope. I had Tom Savage was the one differentiator. And then Dave got to Tom.
Ladarius in here got Case Keenum and TJ Yates were 2 of the other ones. Case Keenum and TJ Yates.
Case
and
Keenum
then
was there.
The last one, Grim fan just came in here with AJ McCarron was the last quarterback.
I never
that DeAndre Hopkins played with. Yeah, that one and TJ Yates were the ones that I would have never pulled. It's a great pull with Schaub, Dave. Nice job
Schaub.
on that.
I thought Schaub was actually pre-Hopkins, so I was happy that one worked out.
It worked out. Well, we don't know who Hopkins is going to have thrown him the ball next year, but when you look at this list, I'm not sure if he is the Hopkins that he was, that it matters. Dave, where do you think he's going to end up? And are you expecting, is this another player that's on the decline, you think, similar to Dalvin Cook, or you have higher expectations for D-Hop?
You know, it was kind of wild because in 2021, it looked like he was trending downward. I mean, every underlying peripheral metric looked bad for DeAndre Hopkins. And then he got suspended for half a season. And then he looked great at the end of 2022 when he came back. He was still the same separator. He was still getting contested catches. He was drawing targets. But I feel like you got to kind of take that with a grain of salt because we only saw it on a half season sample. So I don't know if he can be that guy for a full season right now. But I kind of understand where he's coming from as well. Odell Beckham just got a huge contract, so he wants at least that much money. As much as I'd love to see him go to all these fun teams like Kansas City and Buffalo, they just don't have the cap space for it. So I don't know. It's tough to think that he can land in a worse situation than what he would have been doing with the Cardinals this year. But I mean, I still find myself drafting a lot of DeAndre Hopkins at that like wide receiver 2025 range.
Yeah. JL, how do you feel
but
about
if you're trying to pull a team out of me, I actually think the Bears make a lot of sense. The one thing that Justin Fields really, really struggled with was trusting guys to make contested catches. That's the one thing that DeAndre Hopkins at this point in his career could still do really well. So they've got some good separators. If they could bring him in to be that contested catch guy, it could help develop Justin Fields.
God, the offense would look so different next year with DeAndre Hopkins and DJ Moore lining up out there for Justin Fields. That's hot.
I love that spot.
JL, how do you feel about the Titans as a destination? Because the most recent news is that he's flying out to Nashville to visit there. And I believe they do have the cap space to sign a player like DeAndre Hopkins right now.
Yeah, I feel good about it. DeAndre Hopkins, his time in Arizona, it was inconsistent. And I think it was a combination of things Dave mentioned. You know, it wasn't all on him. There was a situation. There was the usage of DeAndre Hopkins there. Of course, his suspension and everything. But the thing is about DeAndre Hopkins is he's incredibly talented. And so going into a team like Tennessee where they don't have a strong wide receiver to really build the foundation around, DeAndre Hopkins to me feels like the perfect fit to that, where they can lean on his experience while they continue to build out the rest of the team.
They've been doing that, going for those over-the-hill guys for the last couple of years now. You know, they tried it last year with Robert Woods and it didn't work out. They tried it with Randy Moss a few years before that. So, I mean, he just kind of slots right in to be that other over-the-hill wide receiver to come in and take on that role.
Maybe he's got a little bit of the hill left. Maybe he'll just inch
I
over the hill
differently than those guys, than Robert Woods, at least. Definitely a different guy.
Also, Jay down here saying nuke to NYG. And Victor said from Mooney and Equinemius St. Brown to DJ and Hopkins is an insane makeover. Yeah, that's absolutely absurd. That's like those like MLM diet pill before and after photos is like that level of change. Well, Dave, you've got a commanding lead here now, 21-1 over John Luke. But JL, there's plenty of game left. Yeah, Dave, you do have the first bid on this next prompt. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Okay, here is your next prompt. How many languages can you say the word dog in?
1.
1. Dave's bit is 1. JL, do you think you can say the word dog in more than one language?
2.
JL can say dog in 2 languages. Dave, can you say dog in more than 2 languages?
No.
No. Dave says no. That's where the bidding stops. JL, you now have to, for 2 points, tell me how to say the word dog in 2 languages.
Okay.
You can go further for more addition. Okay, there's 1.
Dog.
That is 2, and I will accept it. English is a language. So, Jail, that is 2. It's going to be 2 points going your direction, unless you can go further.
Do I want to take a chance that one of these romance languages is kind of close? No, I'll take my 2 points.
Okay. JL.
Population Pig Latin was all I had.
Pig Latin. Oh, would that have counted?
I would have
That
not.
is
I would have
weird.
not counted it wrong, but would not have accepted it either. It would have been a pass. It would have been a push, is what Pig Latin would have been. In jail, it's probably good that you didn't take that shot because they are very different in both French, Italian, and Portuguese. So all of those other Romance languages are not para. The only one I thought you might get was like Hund in German, like at the end of like Dachshund, but it's just spelled Hund. I don't know how they do that stuff.
Yeah, that is a confused. That's a whole confused name right there.
Right.
Dotson. Oh my God.
I'm not even sure how to say it. Every time I say it out loud, I say it really quickly to skip the consonant in the middle so no one knows if I'm saying the right noise or not. Is it a T? Is it an X? Is it a C?
Who knows?
Dave, tell me how to say the German name for wiener.
Hund, I believe you said. or are we talking wiener schnitzel?
Nailed it. Also, Scampers in the chat knew one of them. I believe that's French. I don't know. Nice job. And Jake Trowbridge wants to know, how many players can you name that have that dog in them? Dave, is that
63.
number higher than 2 for you?
Yeah, I got a lot of dogs that I like. We can go for a while with that one.
Yeah, that one would take the rest of the show. Well, John Luke, that's going to move you up to 3 points. The score is 21-3. We're moving on to our next prompt. You have the first bid on this one. Are you ready for it?
Yep.
Okay. How many of the 9 grass type starter Pokemon can you name?
God, I don't have good name memory. My brain don't work good stuff. How many of the 9? I'll go with 2.
Jail can name 2 of the grass type starter Pokemon. Dave, can you name more than 2 of the grass type starter Pokemon? And this is just the first evolution.
I don't think I can.
Okay, John Luke, you're getting beans one by one in the battle to come back against Dave.
Worse.
2 grass starters. Can you name them?
All right. First one is Bulbasaur.
Yes, that is 1.
Oh,
That's true. And then Chikorita.
That is 2. So, JL, you have named your 2. Can you name any more for bonus points?
Snivy.
Snivy is correct. That's going to be 2 more bonus points, bringing you to 4 points for this round.
Turtwig.
Turtwig is correct. Hell, that looks insane to watch you just and then say a word like Turtwig at the end of it. You know what I mean? Pull that out of your brain. Oh, yes, of course. Turtwig.
Yes, my hat's Turtwig.
Oh, man.
I think that's all I got. I don't think I have any more.
Okay, well,
Turtwigs.
Dale, you named 2 additional, which is going to be 4 additional points, earning you 6 and helping you come back a little bit on this one. The score is now going to be 21-9. The remaining ones that you did not name were Trico, Chespin, Rowlet, Grookey, and Sprigatito.
Rowlet.
Sprigatito.
What was the other one?
Sprigatito. It was the most recent one.
Watch your mouth, son. We're on a stream.
Also, Victor said I can literally see Jail's light bulb turn on. It is fun watching Jail's light bulb turn on. Jail, that's going to bring you up to 9 points. You are now only 14 or whatever that number is. That's not 14.
What?
12 behind Dave.
14-3 behind
I thought
Dave.
that 9 was a 7 for a second. Turns out it's not, and those numbers are not interchangeable when doing math, in case you were curious. Dave, you are going to have the first bid on our next prompt. Are you ready for us to jump into it?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Before you do, we got Mama Grunewald, and you're saying I can.
Oh!
She can name all of them.
What's up, Mama Grunewald? Welcome in. Hey, that's my mom. It was weird to say the last name at the end of it.
Yeah, that was weird.
Dave, what I want to know is, how many of the 12 NFL players named Mike or Michael can you name? Only quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and kickers. So we're just talking the fantasy guys.
Start the bidding at 1.
Dave is starting the bidding at 1, Mike or Michael. JL, how many Michaels do you think you can name?
I can name 5.
JL can name 5 Michaels, he says. Dave, can you name more than 5 Mikes or Michaels?
I'm writing them down as they're popping in my mind. No, I've only got 4 off the top of my head. No, I could do 5. I'll go 6.
Okay,
I'll think of another one
Dave.
by the time JL gets to this.
Oh, he's feeling lucky, Punk. That's the name of the game. JL, you feeling luckier? You going to go 7 or you going to let Dave play at 6 here? He hasn't thought of the 6th one yet. He hasn't revealed that information, though. Now I see him writing.
I'll go 7.
Okay, JL says 7. Dave, are you going to go 8 or are you letting JL play this at 7?
God. I think I can go 8.
Okay, Dave's going 8. John Luke, can you do 9?
Michael, where are you? No, I can't.
Okay, Dave is taking 8. I will say there is one player who is currently not on a team that if you say them, that it will not count towards the 12, but it will not count against you if you say them.
They're not on a team?
Yeah, they're not on a team, but they haven't like retired or anything. You know what I mean? Like they just haven't said, I'm not playing in the NFL anymore. But that is very much so probably what's happening.
You guys ready for it?
Let's do it. Okay. I need 12 or no, how many did you say?
8. I can't do 12. 8. I got 8 written down. I got Michael Pittman.
Okay, that is 1.
Mike Williams.
That is 2.
Mike Wilson.
That is Mike.
Wasn't there a rookie? Wasn't there a Mike
There's
Wilson?
Michael Wilson. Yes.
Michael
Sorry,
Wilson,
I had him listed as Michael, and then I mixed up my Mike and Michael's list. That is correct. You've got 3.
Mike White.
Mike White is correct. That's 4.
Michael Carter.
Michael Carter is correct. That's 5.
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas is correct. That's 6.
Can I also go with Mike Thomas, the receiver on the Bengals?
You can go with Mike Thomas. That is 7.
Michael Mayer.
Michael Mayer is correct. That is 8.
And I've actually got one more.
Okay, for some bonus points.
No, actually, I thought I did. I just couldn't read my handwriting. I've got 8. That's all I got.
Okay.
He just saw the despair in my eyes. That's all.
Okay. 1 extra. That is going to give you 10 more points, Dave, because that 1 extra is worth double points, bringing you up to 31. I'm seeing if there's some more in the chat. Oh, Grim fan coming in with Michael Badgley. That is one of the ones that you missed.
Kicker.
We had Michael. You said Carter, but you did not say Boone. Mike Boone was one of the ones on the list.
I would not have gotten that one.
And then you're going to kick yourself with some of these.
In there.
Mike Evans, Mike Gesicki, Michael Gallup were the other 3 that were not said.
How did we forget Evans?
I've rostered Gallup in my Dynasty leagues for 6 years and never once started him. I can't even remember his name.
Evans, Gallup, and Gesicki were the easy ones. I don't know how I missed those.
Yeah.
You big brained it. You got too many hats on. They were hidden. They were hidden in between hat 4 and 5, and they got stuck on the way down to your brain.
That Mike bin in my head is just too full.
I got Mike Thomas on the Bengals and couldn't get Mike Evans. For shame.
Dave, that is going to move you up to 31 points to JL's 9. But the game is far from over. There are 20 minutes left in this show.
If I had gotten that one, it would have been a contest. It would have been 20, 21. I think.
It would have been close. There was definitely there's definitely more in there with lots of points available. Not all of them. I believe Dave had the first bid on that one and started the bidding at 1, if I'm not mistaken, which means JL.
Now it's gonna be like, how many languages can you say cat?
I just need to keep zooming out, I think, to get all these hats in here.
The next prompt is actually how many more hats are you willing to wear for the rest of the show?
I think we got them all in frame now.
All right. JL, are you ready for your next
That's such a good
prompt?
idea. Yeah.
How many people will you call and ask to borrow $1,000 live on air? You cannot tell them why. When they respond, you may then hang up. But you have to call them, you have to get an answer, and then you can hang up.
3.
JL's willing to do it with 3 people. Dave, how many people are you willing to call on speakerphone, on air, and ask to borrow $1,000?
0.
Dave.
JL.
JL,
All you,
3
buddy.
points with the opportunity for more available. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got a lot of
Pause for
doubles
your
here.
call.
We can just spend the rest of the show watching JL beg for money.
Oh God, this is gonna suck. All right. Well, I have to do 3, right?
3, yeah. Who are you calling first?
It's got to be mom. That would be my first call.
I have
But
to
the thing is,
ask
my mom would
$1,000.
Venmo me $1,000.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm way too afraid to call my mom and ask her for $1,000 because she would.
Honey,
She
is
might do
everything
it.
okay? I can't tell you
Yeah.
why. I just need you to send me $1,000.
And then not call back for 20 minutes.
My mom would Venmo me $5,000 and be on a plane on the way to San Antonio, Texas right now if I did that to her.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I guess so. I have to ask. I have to call. I have to say, "Hey, can I borrow $1,000?" And then I have to, whatever they say, I have to hang up after.
You can reiterate if they say what, you can say it again, but like they need to know that you asked for $1,000 and then you're free to hang up.
Okay. All right. First person I'm calling is Sal, who used to live in my house. Good buddy of mine, one of my best friends. And we'll see. I was supposed to hang out with him earlier, but I bailed. Now I'm gonna ask for $1,000.
You ever asked him for money before?
And he didn't answer.
Okay. Well, JL, while
Let's
you're
see.
thinking of someone, we got some people in the chat. Scamper said OMG, Simon, and who we calling?
I'm calling
JL?
Ed. I'm calling
Ed is
Maria's
his girlfriend's father, or his fiance's father.
Hello?
Sorry, I forgot to say.
Hey Ed. Can I borrow $1,000?
$1,000?
Yeah.
Why aren't you asking for more?
Okay, well, Ed is in jail. That is 1.
Once
You
more,
need 2. You need 2 more before this challenge is complete, and you get your points.
Sal's back. Hey. Yo.
Let's go.
Yo, can I borrow $1,000?
Can you borrow $1,000?
Yeah.
You serious?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have that much.
Gone. He's gone.
You got some nice friends, JL. People are ready to help you.
Oh my God.
Woo!
All right,
I'm
all right, next.
sweating.
Next person we're calling is Alex Caruso.
Oh,
I have no business calling him asking him for $1,000.
Woo. Let's see if Mr. Caruso answers. He was just on the show not too long ago. He's gonna leave you. He's gonna leave you ringing, JL.
Yeah, because I'm calling him in the middle of the day without asking him.
At 3:44 p.m. Mr. Scamper says my hands are sweating down here.
You've reached
Oh, Alex, boo.
Okay, JL, one more shot, but I will say if you leave a voicemail on the next one, I'll count it
Oh,
if they
God.
don't
All
answer.
right. Is Scott
So this
Fish
next one-
watching?
I haven't seen him in the chat.
If not, I'll leave a voicemail.
Oh my God.
Also, Jake Trober's on you said I wasn't prepared for FYF to turn into crank yankers. but
Crank
I love
yankers.
it.
What a throwback.
Throwback to the phenomenal shows that used to exist. Why don't we get shows like Dave, if you had to bring back one like classic MTV show, what would it be?
MTV show.
I guess, or crank
Teen-
yankers, that whole genre.
Date My Mom.
Oh, Date My Mom.
Date My Mom was so
phenomenal.
good.
Please leave your message for
All right, here we go.
9-5.
Oh,
Oh,
Whoops.
that is 2 days in a row. We have almost.
hey,
got-
man. I don't have time to explain, but do you mind Venmo me $1,000? I'll pay you back. I promise.
Beautiful. Was that Scott
Let's see.
Fish, JL?
That was Scott Fish.
That is 2 days in a row that we have
We've almost
doxed
accident-
Scott Fish's phone number. We almost did it on Quiplash yesterday as well. One of these days, we're going to accidentally dox him, and he's going to be unhappy. Well, JL, you can keep going if you would like, or we are going to cut it at 3
no.
points, bringing you
I'm
up to
shaking.
12. That was a hard-earned 3 points, but you got them.
God.
We got Cooter Doodle down here in the chat saying more hats, please.
More hats.
Maybe next time. Well, JL, that brings you up within 20 points now. We've got a little bit of
God,
time.
that wasn't worth it. They've got the same points for guessing 3 names.
That is true. That's how
The
this game
worst.
works. The challenges are harder because they hurt, but there's no cap on those. You can just keep on going if you want to. All right. Who bid first on that one? I'm like shaking a little bit. I forgot who was going. Dave, I believe you have the first bid on this one, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Here is what I want to know. How many of the 15 tight ends drafted in the 2023 NFL draft can you name?
4.
4. Okay, JL, can you name more than 4 of the 15 tight ends drafted in the 2023 NFL draft?
Wait, Alex Caruso's calling me back.
Okay.
Get double points.
Yeah, if you do
Yeah,
it to
you get
Alex,
2
you can
points
get
for
double
this.
points.
All right. Yo, I don't have time to explain, but can I borrow $100?
Yeah.
Cool. You Venmo me?
Yeah. What's going on?
Bet. Oh God, he's so nice. No!
Guys, everybody go follow Alex Caruso at
Alex Caruso is goated.
on Twitter right now because he is not only unbelievably kind, but dude knows ball as well.
That
He
was
might only
the
have 12
worst
points, but he's got
response to have.
$2,000.
Woo.
God.
Yeah, Dale, you just made 2K on the show today,
Yeah, and I lost a friend.
and you lost a friend. Well, Dale, that's going to bring you up to 14 points
Oh,
with that
my
one
God.
right there. And Dave said he could name, was it 5 tight
4.
ends? 4 tight ends. So, John Luke, can you name 5 tight ends? Oh, wait, now Alex is calling me.
He's calling me. Now you do it. I'll give you double points.
I think
I
as
get
the
double points
host,
if you
you're
do it.
allowed to.
I
do it.
missed it. I missed it.
Oh.
I missed the call, but that's okay. I saw it too late. JL, can you
Oh.
name 5 tight ends that were drafted this year?
5 tight ends that were drafted this year. I can't think of anything other than what just happened. I could name 3.
3? Well, that's
Yep.
not 5. So, Dave, you are going to get to play
I
at
can name
4. So go ahead and name those 4 tight ends for me.
I got Michael Mayer, Sam Laporta, Darnell Washington, Luke Musgrave, and then I got a bonus one, Dalton Kincaid.
Okay, that is 5. That is going to be, what is that, 6 points coming your way for getting that right, Dave. And I think that's more than anybody in the chat got down there. We had Washington, Kincaid, Meyer, and Darnell. So that's the same as you, Dave. Add 6 points to your score. Generally, rookie tight ends aren't very relevant for fantasy football purposes. Are there any tight ends that either of you are excited about or drafting in redraft?
You know, I feel like Kincaid is getting all of the hype because he's going to play as the big slot in the powerhouse offense. But I feel like we talk about like a tight end doing this every single year, and it rarely actually works out that way. I can't even take myself seriously with all these hats on right now.
Well, JL, you don't have hats on. Are there any rookie tight ends that you're excited about?
Not a single one. Yeah, Kincaid. There's a bunch. Like, this is a strong tight end class. I feel like we say that all these names are going to be, they're like in our minds right now because everybody's talking about it. They're still tight ends. We still might see a slow buildup for fantasy production. So I like the names that have been thrown out there. And I think that a lot of these guys are going to have a dip in value maybe around like halfway through the season. So keep them on your radar.
Craig down here coming in with another one. Schoonmaker on that one. What are some other ones? Brenton Strange, Tucker Kraft, some of the other. Zach Kuntz is another one. We had Cameron Latu, Josh Weil, Will Mallory, Payne Durham, Davis Allen, and Braden Willis were all of the others. But I didn't expect anybody to get those like 6th and 7th round tight ends down there at the bottom. All right, well, Dave, that is going to add 6 points to your score, bringing you up to 37 and making it a little bit difficult for Dale to catch you. But we got time for at least one more, potentially 2 more prompts. Before we get into that, though, I wanted to remind everybody watching that Thursday nights here on BSN are for fantasy football. At 7 p.m., we have the High Stakes Fantasy Football Show with Eric Balkman of the FFPC. followed right after that at 9 p.m. by the Dynasty Nerd Show with Dennis Bennett, and then your fantasy best ball strategy, rookie drafts, and dynasty trade talk on that show. So stick around here. Thursday nights are for fantasy football on BSN. John Luke, you've got the first bid on our next prompt. Are you ready
Yes,
for
sir.
your challenge?
Do it.
Okay. What I want to know is how many of the 29 MLS teams can you name?
Oh no.
There's 29.
I can name one.
You can name one of the MLS teams. Dave, can you name more than one MLS team?
I've got 2 written down.
Okay, Dave can name 2. JL, can you name more than 2?
3.
JL can name 3. Dave, can you name more than 3 MLS teams?
I cannot.
Okay, JL, you are going to get to play. If you can name 3, you're going to get those points and then the opportunity for more.
Okay. Number 1, I will go is the only MLS game I've ever been to, the Sounders.
Yes, the Sounders are correct, JL.
It's a
Who do they
great
play
game.
against?
They played against Tottenham. Is that a team?
That is not, and is that your guess?
No. They're not an MLS team. They played against a non-MLS team
Oh, all right.
called Tottenham, I think, or something like that.
We'll allow it, but that is correct. They are not an MLS team.
No,
They
I wasn't
are,
guessing that. I was
yeah.
answering Dave's question.
I was making sure. You've got one right with Seattle.
So the next one I'm going to go with is the Inter Miami. I've just seen that one. Everyone talking about that one today.
That is correct, JL. Inter Miami.
And DC United.
DC United is correct. That is 3. Going to get you your 3 points. Can you name any more of these teams for additional points?
Can I name the city?
No.
Okay.
It's
Then
no.
no.
If you can say the team name, I'll take it, but not if it's just the city.
That's fair.
Is that fair? So you're done?
Yep.
Okay. The remaining teams were Atlanta United, Charlotte Football Club, Chicago Fire,
Chicago
FC
Fire,
Cincinnati,
man.
Columbus Crew, CF Montreal, Nashville SC, New England Revolution, New York City Football Club, New York Red Bulls. I'm not going to name all of them. You can look at your own damn list. If you want to know
Google.
the rest of the MLS teams. Yeah, just Google MLS teams and you'll see all the rest of them. JL, that is going to earn you 3 points, bringing you up to 17. And we got time for another one. One more. This is your last chance to come back. I believe it's not going to be enough, but this will be the last prompt that we're doing. Dave, you've got the first bid on this one.
All right.
How many of the 4 players that caught touchdown passes from Brock Purdy last season can you name? So there's only 4 points available here.
3.
3 of the 4. John Luke, do you think you can name more than 3? Can you name all of the players that Brock Purdy threw a touchdown to last season?
Mm-hmm. Fourth one. Yeah, I can name 4.
Yeah. Yep. JL can name 4. He is confident of it. Okay, John Luke.
All right,
Did you
Debo
try-
Samuel.
Nope.
I'm sorry, JL. You are immediately incorrect. Debo Samuel did not catch a touchdown pass from Brock Purdy.
Kittle, McCaffrey, Ayuk, and I don't know the 4th.
Kittle,
Jennings.
McCaffrey, Ayuk are all correct. And
Danny
JL,
Gray.
for redemption, it's not Jennings. It's not Danny
Damn it.
Gray. It is Kyle Juszczyk. Caught
Use
Oh.
check.
last touchdown
Use check.
from Brock Purdy. Dale, unfortunately, because you got that one wrong, right at the end of the game, you're going to gift Dave an additional 4 points,
Perfect.
making the final score of this game 41-17 in favor of Dave. Dave, congratulations, my friend. You have won the first ever game
Handedly.
of Feelin Lucky Punk on the Fantasy Football Game Show.
I mean, I just have so much fun on this show every time I come on here. Can't thank you guys enough for the invite. That was a good one. I got a little sweaty myself.
Yeah, I was
Like
about to say, even though we
hats.
made you put on 7 hats and then sweat while we watched JL do something uncomfortable.
That was good stuff. I think we need to get off the show so JL can call Alex Caruso and explain to him what's
Yeah,
going on right
please
now
don't
that he's
Venmo
not
me
being held
$1,000.
hostage.
JL's got some calls to make right after this, so we got to get going. Guys, that
It's
is going
$1,000 to send back to people.
For 6 points.
everybody watching. If you are not already following our friend Dave, you need to go and fix that right now. If him putting on 7 hats and spouting all the fantasy football knowledge he knows with the hats on the entire time wasn't enough, and I'm just going to beg a little bit here at the end. He's at Dave Kluge. Give him a follow. Link is in the description of this video. That is going to be it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time for some more fantasy football game show fun. Until then, though, we are out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. We'll see you guys on another time. Dave, you're going to have to teach me how you got all those hats to balance up there. I've been trying for just weeks and I can't quite get it.
The trick is a good